Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the Billingham Combination Bag for Leica. This is the one that I decided to get. It's sort of like a khaki, canvas, and tan. You can get this bag in two different materials. There's Fibronite and then there's canvas. I really like the canvas because it's got this really fantastic texture to it. It's very soft and pliable. That's kind of what you're going to hear from a lot of people. And I really like the way that it ages. I'll try and add a photo so that you can see just like an example of how the bag ages over time. So I tend to ramble a lot, so I went ahead and made myself a little bit of an agenda here. So I'll be talking about color because I ordered the tan and the black, and I can give my opinions on that. And then I'll go over just kind of like the main compartment, the front compartment, snaps, and then I can give a few tips on leather care to keep the leather nice and soft and to keep it from cracking. And then I will go over the AVEA 3 pocket, which I have right here. And I'm just going to put it on and then give some of my first impressions of that. And I'll also talk about why I bought it and why I why I think I'm going to prefer to have this bag with an additional pocket instead of just buying a slightly bigger bag. Billingham makes a ton of bags. There's 3 or 4 bags that are around this size that you can buy. And so it's a very particular choice to go for this bag with this pocket. I also want to put it on here because there's a number 3, there's a number 5, which are meant to go with this bag because they're square at the bottom. And then there is a number 7 and 8, which are tapered at the bottom. And I just wanted to show what it looks like on the bag so that I can show that it fits because it's really hard to find photos or information of this pocket online. Okay, but I'm getting way ahead of myself, so let me start from the beginning. So let's start with color. First of all, I'm sorry I didn't keep the black bag long enough to be able to put it right next to this one. I tried this one on with a few different outfits that I take photographing, and then the black one as well. And it was really close. I really loved both of them. The black one, the first thing that I noticed is that it's much more black in person than it is in photos that I've seen online. I think it's just whenever people take photos of it, the exposure sees a lot of black in the photo and then it ends up overexposing it slightly. So I was really pleased with how pitch black that it was. I was also pleased with how nice that all of the fittings look. So these fittings on the black one are silver. It also has like silver buttons on the top. I was worried that it would look really gaudy and purse-like, but in person it looked very slick, and I had absolutely no problem with it, and it was very sleek. I would say that the main difference between the black bag and then this khaki one, the black bag looks like a work bag. It looks like you're a professional photographer and you're just getting business done, whereas this feels a little bit more like a walking around bag. And for whatever reason, maybe because I'm not a professional photographer, I used to sort of want to look like a professional photographer, I think, whereas now this is very much more of a serious hobby. And I just love sort of the vibe of this one, that it feels sort of like a vacation bag, it feels like a travel bag, and I just love the classic look of it. The other reason is that especially black canvas, is going to tend to fade over time, whereas the khaki is going to tend to get darker, unless you clean it regularly. And so I think that this is going to look really beautiful over time. So that was kind of the thinking behind color. I'm trying to think if there was anything else about color. The only other thing I would say is that both the tan and the black look really good with this green interior. I kind of fell in love with the way that the black and green looked together. But again, at the end of the day, they were both such beautiful bags that it kind of just came down to an aesthetic choice. Okay, so let's start taking a look inside of it. So I'll just go ahead and give you a nice clean look inside. So let me take this camera out. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You get 2 of these inserts. I've only been using one of them. And then you also have this pocket here, and it is padded, at least on this side. There is also a pad on the bottom of this, so let me pull this out. All right, so you got this piece, and then you've got a really thick pad. on the bottom, and so this is there so that if you drop your camera, then it won't get damaged. All right, and I can show you how the M fits in here. So this is a Leica M10. It's got a 50mm f2 Summicron on it, and then I also have an extension tube on here, a little 10mm extension tube. So what I like about this, even if I have this extended, it fits really well in here. So you can see that it only takes up about, let me just show you here, only takes up about that much of the space, so almost half, a little bit less if I wanted to like really put it in there. But a lot of times what I do is whenever I slide this in, so I just kind of roll this up and then I put it in there with it on that side, or I'll put it over in this other pocket over here, and everything fits in there really nice. I really love having this flap here because it's just a little extra protection. If you happen to open this up and leave it open and it's sprinkling or something, then it keeps it a little more protected. And I also just love to be able to pull it out and then slide it back in with relative ease. I wear this camera on my body a lot, so this bag here just kind of ends up being there for when I need it. So here's an iPad Pro 11-inch. You can see that. So I was curious if this would fit in there. It does not. It is a little too big. You can kind of put it in there vertically, I guess, if you really wanted to, but then you've got this flap here, and doesn't quite fit. So this is not really a bag that's going to work as a backpack replacement for me, but if I'm willing to leave this in the car, then this will pretty much give me everything I need. Okay, let's look at the front pocket here. So front pocket is just a open pocket. It doesn't have any sub pockets or anything like that, which I think is a little too bad. But what I'm doing is I'm actually ordering some small zippable mesh pockets from Muji, M-U-G-I. And what's nice is they make ones that are about half the size of this, so I can fit 2 of them in there. And I can just kind of slide them in and label them, and then I'll be able to put all sorts of things in there, you know, whether it's, you know, a cable for transferring photos or an additional memory card or, you know, lens cap or anything else that I have here. So I'm looking forward to that. This pocket back here, I just kind of use it for like, you know, flat stuff. Because it's a pocket that is in the back of the main compartment, I wouldn't want to put anything bulky in there because it's just going to take up too much space. So like I might put that in there, you know, or it would be a great place for a lens cap, just because I always like to find a place to put my lens cap and keep it really consistent. And so I might start putting that in there as well. Okay, what's next? Snaps. All right, let's talk about snaps. Also these zippers, really high quality. I'm very, very happy with the quality of everything. Nothing feels like it's going to come off anytime soon, and these have a really great feel to them. The pocket feels very structured. Okay, now let's look at the snaps. So the snaps, they've got a really nice feel to them as well. So you can just kind of put it through this top part here, and this is bridal leather. You can kind of actually hear it. Yeah, hear that? It's snapping. So it's fairly thick leather, and so that is, I love those. I think that the feel of this is really great. Whenever you want to take it off, you can just kind of pull it and pull it up. What I love about this bag is the durability, so you can be kind of rough with it, you know? You don't have to be too precious about it. And so really, really enjoying this bag so far. Let's talk about leather care really quick. So when I've looked at some of these aged bags online, whether it's the black or the tan one of the things I've noticed is that sometimes this leather is cracked. Now this is really high quality leather. This is bridal leather. Same thing that Filson makes its belts out of. If you've seen a Filson bag, let me just grab one really quick. So for example, this is a Filson bag, and this is also bridal leather, very similar. And you can see how over time it just gets really flexible and soft, right? So that's what this is going to be like pretty soon. You'll see even this is a very similar thickness, right? But I've opened it and closed it so many times that it's got a nice flexibility to it, and so you can expect this leather to have kind of a similar feel. Okay, But one of the things I wanted to say about leather care is that even with really high quality leather, it's going to have a different grain to it. You know, it's a natural material, and so every once in a while, even if it's really good leather, you'll get like a bum piece of leather, or leather in general can just get dry after a while and crack. And so I've had really high quality leather before that, for whatever reason, just, you know, the quality of the character of that specific leather was such that it was prone to cracking. So there's something that I do to leather as soon as I start using it. I haven't done it to this bag yet, but I will, which is that I clean it and then I moisturize it with a very special leather cleaner, or sorry, a leather, what do they call this? Well, this is a leather dressing. And I specifically use products that will not change the color of it. I generally am buying a specific color of leather because I really like it and I don't want to change it. So I'll show you a quick example. Well, first I'll tell you about the products and then I'll show you an example. So this here is a saddle soap by Fieblings. And what you want to get here is the one with the white top. It's neutral colored. I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. It'll look a little weird just because I've been using it for a long time, but it's neutral colored. So don't get the one with the yellow top, get the one with the white top, because this one will not change the color of your leather as you soap it up and wash it. So you can use this to clean. Once you've cleaned it, then you can use this. This is Picard Antique Leather Dressing. This is specifically made for, you know, antique furniture, but I use it on everything. I use it on leather chairs, leather boots, things like that, and it does not change the color of the leather. To prove that, I'll show you a little example. So this here is an Alden boot in natural leather. You can kind of see that it's got like a little bit of a patina to it, and I've had these for quite a while, and I use these products right here to clean it without changing the color, and you can polish it up really nice and then get it looking just like new again. So just a little tip there. All right, now let's move on to the pocket. So this is the AVEA 3. All right, I'll just try and give some first impressions as I'm taking stuff off. It's got the same high quality padded feel to it. It's very lightweight. And the way that this fits on, let's see, which side am I going to want this on? I grab my camera from this side. Probably going to want it on the back. So basically, these little guys here, you unbutton these, and then you can slip it through here. I've never done this before, so we'll see how this goes. It may be a tight fit, I don't know. Okay, that's feeling pretty good. All right. And this is just what I was hoping for. I wanted something that was going to be able to fit on the side of it without blocking this pocket right here, because I still want to be able to get to the zipper. Okay, and let's finish snapping this on. It feels very solid. One of the things I've noticed about Billingham so far is that I just really love the quality of the bags. I actually think that they're higher quality than Filson, and I really like Filson, but I'm starting to think that I'm going to sell my Filson gear and then buy some larger Billingham bags, which are in about the same price range, so that I can have the same quality with some of like my day bags or travel bags. Okay, great. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what you can fit in here. And then I'll talk a little bit about why I'm going this direction instead of getting a larger bag. Okay. Yeah, this feels pretty good. So you're not going to be able to fit like a camera body in here. You would need the larger pocket for that. You would need the number 5, but that would also block this pocket here. So, you know, you're not going to be able to fit an M10 in that, not even close, right? But there's some larger pockets that you might be able to fit a camera body into. Okay, here we go. They were right next to me. All right, so, you know, if I had some sunglasses, for example, you know, it's a nice sunglass pocket, can fit that in there. I can imagine that being really useful. I'll tell you what I wanted to use this for is I was hoping that it would be big enough that I could like put a beer in here, because which it is not. I don't think it's quite large enough for that. If it was a little wide, you know, deeper, I think that it would work for that, but it's not quite big enough for that. But I think for my purposes, this is going to work quite well, and I am excited about it. I was hoping, I have to be honest, that it would be just a little bit deeper this way, like maybe double the width, because, then I'd be able to like put a beer in there or, just more stuff. But the thing is that they don't really make a pocket like that. They have this one here that's thinner, or they've got the 5, but again, like I said, it goes all the way up to here, and I didn't want to disrupt the functionality of that. So anyway, it's a bit of an experiment. I'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is not a beer, this is a tonic water, but let's see if a bottle would fit. Okay, yeah, just barely. It's not very discreet, but it looks like that would work. So maybe I just gotta, change my tactics a little bit and go with a bottle of beer, or maybe even a flask. That could be good too. Okay, yeah, so anyway, I'm pretty satisfied with this bag so far, and I will use this for a while, and if, I find that it's not quite meeting my needs, then I suppose I could get a larger one, although to be honest, I think I probably would not get rid of this bag. I'd probably just get another one in addition to it. Okay, so that is basically it. Let me see if there's anything else. I mean, there's the shoulder pad I found is also high quality. Really enjoy it. It really helps whenever you have it fully packed up with the weight. And yeah, I don't know. I will keep looking into pockets because I could imagine either having another one of these, since it's so compact, I can imagine having another one of these on the other side, or seeing if there is a larger one, or just keeping this bag the way it is and then maybe getting a larger bag to go with it. As another option. I'm trying to think of what else. Let me just put the camera in front of it so you can get a sense of scale. There you go. So that kind of gives you an idea. And again, it takes up about half. It takes up about half the bag. So if you have a similar camera setup, then just plan on having about half the bag taken up. The other way that you can do it is you can actually have it face down this way. That is kind of, that's what the other flap is for. And so you can actually store, like if you have a bunch of small lenses, like Leica lenses, and you have one on each side, you still have enough room to put the camera down. And so that's kind of what the combination bag was built for. It's built for 2 lenses and a body with a lens on it, assuming that they're all very compact. All right, well, I think that's it. Let's stop right there.